All right, guys, we are going to jump into, all right, slope. Tell me what you know about slope. Okay, great. That's the answer I've been getting we got that all day Friday. Y equals mx plus b, which technically is not incorrect, but that's not what slope is. That's slope intercept form. You guys have seen y equals mx plus b, right? A lot of nods, yes, no. What is slope though? Rise over run. Okay, we're going to get to that. What else? That's not wrong. Okay, what else? Can anybody describe it? If I don't know anything about slope, can you describe it to me? Go ahead. The rate, yeah, basically the rate of how something differentiates with something else. So if I have my yardstick, which I don't know where it's at, it's over here. So if I have a stick, it's basically how like your x-axis coordinates with your y-axis. So in other words, think of it this way: if I go skiing and there's no slope, what am I doing? Nothing. Why? Because it's flat. There's no slope. Right? We'll talk about that in a minute. But what we talk about slope is how something relates to another. So if you think of it in terms of algebra, hold on, check this out. If you think of it in terms of algebra, it's basically how much the x-axis relates to the y-axis. So in other words, if I'm very, very steep, I might be changing the y quite a bit, but not very much on the x, because if you think about it, it only goes from here to here, right? But if the x changes, so does the y. So everything kind of coordinates. Now, is this steep or not? Is that very steep? No. So as the numbers get bigger, what happens to my slope? It gets what? It gets steeper. Whether it's positive or negative or what, the bigger the number is, the steeper the line is going to be. We're going to talk about that in a little while too, okay? I'm going to use skiing quite a bit in my illustration. Why? Because skiing is a very, very common thing. When we're talking about slope, I don't like using streets or anything else, but like, how many of you have been to San Francisco? Anybody been out there? The roads are really, it's actually very interesting. You can see a house that is like straight up and down, but the road is like, it's kind of interesting. Like the house is straight up and down, but the road looks like this. So like you can have a window on this side of the house over here, but like on the other side of the house, there's actually part of the road because the roads are so steep. It's pretty interesting. I'll show you that here in a little while, okay? But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about slope. So here we go. The definition of slope, okay? And I'm going to read this off of my sheet just because I want to make sure I get the wording exact. All right, here we go. It's a ratio. It is a ratio. That shows how one variable changes in respect to the other. That's what I was just talking about. Basically, how your x variable changes in respect to your y variable. Okay, rise over run. We talked about that. On a linear graph, this is called the slope of the line. Okay, how much does something change? Yes or no? Okay, the slope of the line. This is one of the most important sections in Algebra 1. You guys get it great because you get to start it on a Monday morning. Okay, almost first thing. So hopefully we won't forget it as you guys get going. Okay. A ratio that shows how one variable changes in respect to the other. Now, as we have this, I want you to put this. We're going to put y, triangle y over triangle x. What the triangle means is that's called delta. That means that's your change in y over your change in your x, okay? We're going to talk about that equation in a little while. But what letter goes on top? What letter do you see? Y. Y goes on top. Always. Because what's the word you gave me? Rise over run. Which direction is the y-axis? Up and down. Correct? Rise over run. So the y always goes on top. All right, here we go. We good on this? All right, let's talk about some definitions. Slope is always written as a ratio. Okay, it's always written as a ratio of the vertical change, which is here it comes. Here's your rise, which is also your y, to the horizontal change, which is the run, which is the x-axis. Rise over run. Okay, and I'm going to put this over here. Rise over run, y over x, so on. The biggest mistake that you guys are going to make is you're going to try to put the x on top. It's just what's going to happen. By the way, while I'm thinking about it, today's notes it's going to be a little bit longer, but we're going to give you a pretty good little break between it, and then we're going to do our assignment, and then we'll be done. Okay? So stay focused with me. Stay focused because we have a lot of information to cover. Okay? All right, here we go. This remains constant. This does not change for any 2 points on the same line. Here in a second, when we get to where we're talking about slope, or we're talking about the slope of the line, I'm going to have you guys choose multiple points on the line. I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter which 2 points you choose. It's going to work out to be the same slope. It stays constant. Why does it stay constant? Because your slope doesn't change. From here to here, from here to here, it's all on one line. Does that make sense? As long as this doesn't change, the number should always match. Okay? All right, and here we go. Slope is always written as a fraction. In what? Any guesses? 2 words? How do you write fractions always? In simplest form. Simplest form. I don't know if I just spelled simplest correct, but just work with me. Simplest. I don't know. The variable for your slope, what letter is slope always? Anybody know? Nope. Hold on. You gave me the equation y equals mx plus b. Which one of those is the slope? M. Thank you. M is your slope. M is always your slope. What letter is your slope? M. M. Thank you. Your slope is always going to be M. Everybody good? All right. Now, I know that's a lot of words, a lot of information, okay? Everybody semi-okay? I had to go through the definition of it, right? I had to tell you what it meant. Now we're actually going to get into it. Fair? All right, here we go. The types of slope. There are 4 types of slope. Here in a second, I'm going to show you Mr. Slope Guy. Yep, there is a slope guy. It's kind of stupid. All right, here we go. Which direction is this going? It's increasing. How do you read these graphs? From what? Left to right, just like always. This one is positive because it's going up. Okay? So what is this one? This one's negative. This one's negative. Good. What is this one? Okay, it's constant. Not wrong. Hold on, but don't write constant. They're all okay. Technically, yes, it is constant. This one is, in terms of slope, this is no slope, or you could say 0. Okay, so it's going to be 0 over a number. Okay, think about it. There is no rise because it doesn't go up at any point. It stays flat. You guys with me? 0 over any number is okay. Okay, it doesn't rise. Is that a function, by the way? Would that pass the vertical line test? Okay, this one's still okay. This passes the vertical line test. It's a function. Everything's still good. It's okay to be 0 over something. What is this one? This one is undefined. Good. There is nothing really good. Oh, by the way, let me go back to this one. 0, y equals a number. Okay, that is the equation. Y equals any number. If you see y equals 5, and that's all you see, y equals a number, it's flat. Okay? This one, if this one's y equals a number, what do you think this one is? X equals a number. And the way I always remember this was X is bad. Don't stay away from it. X equals is not good. Okay? Also, this one would be a number over 0. Can you divide by 0? No, you cannot. If you actually open your calculator and try to divide by 0, your calculator will actually start smoking. I'm just kidding. But it'll give you an error. It does not work. Okay? It actually opens a wormhole. Okay? You didn't know that. So 0, because there's no rise, this is not good. And here's another way I remember it. What direction is this line? Up and down. What does undefined start with? U. No, they both start with U. Up and down is undefined. Okay, it's another way to. They are going to have this one on. This is going to be on your. I promise you, it's going to be on your STAR test. It's also going to be on your test in our class. You're going to have 0 and undefined on your test. It's coming. So make sure you know those two. Maybe put a star next to them. Everybody good? All right, here's Mr. Slope Guy. You ready? That's a pretty good oval, by the way. That was not bad. All right. What is this line again? Oh, hang on. Hold on. I put his eyebrow too low. That one's positive. What is this one? Negative. This is so stupid, but I'm just going to show it to you anyway. All right. What is this one? Undefined. U. What is this? Zero slope. Mr. Slope Guy. You're welcome. Okay, there's a video. You want to see the video? No? Okay, good. I wasn't going to show it to you anyway. All right, moving on. You know what? It's kind of stupid, but people remember that. Actually, when I saw people when they were taking their test drawing Mr. Slope Guy on their scratch paper. It was really funny, but people remembered. All right, here we go. Let's talk about slope. Slope. What are the words for slope again? Rise over run. Now here we go. This is basically if we have some graphs. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to find 2 points. Okay, I'm going to try to find 2 points that are on the graph, and I'm just going to count rise over run. Have you guys done this before? I see nodding. Yes. Work with me, guys. You guys have done this before, yes? Okay, good. Do you have a question, or are you just like? No, I'm praising. Oh, air fiving. Perfect. Praising Jesus. Okay, good. All right, here. Sure have. Praise the Lord. Okay, good. Here we go. It's really funny. All right, here we go. I've already labeled. They've already got the 2 points on there. So let's do it. I always choose the point on the far left. That's just me. It doesn't matter which point you choose. I'm going to prove that to you. The first 2 are going to be the slowest ones, okay, because I'm going to do a lot of explaining. Okay, if I'm going to get from this point to this point, how many up, how many over? So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I went up 7, and I'm going to go to the right, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes? 7 over 4 is my slope. That's it. And do not change it to an improper fraction. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just leave. Fractions are your friend when you're talking about slope, because fractions tell you exactly what to do. If they give you a fraction like 5 over 3, be happy, because it tells you to go up 5 and over 3. It tells you exactly what to do. That's what you want in slope. You want fractions. You absolutely want the fractions. They make life a lot easier. Slope is a lot easier. Now, one more thing I want to cover really quick. Draw this somewhere, please. Maybe right there. If I go up, is that positive or negative? What, if I go to the right, what is that? Positive. If I go down, what is that? Negative. If I go left, what is it? Negative. You guys want me on that? Just know that. Please know those. If I go up and to the right, that's positive and positive. Now, let's say I went to the other point. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to show it to you. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to show you. Like I had somebody Friday ask me, was it Friday? Yeah. I had somebody ask me, well, what if we start on that point? Okay, let's check it. To get to this point, how many down do I go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I went down 7, which is what? Negative 7. And then I went left. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is left? What did 2 negatives make? Same slope. We're still okay. Okay, so it really doesn't matter which point you choose. I just like my bottom number to always be positive. I don't like the negatives to be on bottom. Fair? So that's why I always choose the one on the far left. So that way I always go right. Always. I always go right. Okay? You do you, boo. Okay? You do you. You do whatever you want to do. Okay? You can pick whatever point. All right, let's do the second one. Let's pick the second point. Here's one. There's a point. And here's a point. Yes? Let's go. Is this one going to be positive or negative? This one's negative. This one is negative because what direction is it going? Downhill. So when I find my slope, what should my answer be? Say it. If my slope is negative, if my line is negative, what should my slope also be? Negative. Make sure your answer makes sense. This one's positive, right? So my answer should be positive. Okay. If you have a negative line but you get a positive slope, that might be a clue that you did something wrong. Okay. How many down? 1, 2, 3. So down 3, and then over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that simplest form? Open your calculators really quick. I want to show you something. Here's an easy way to do this. On your calculators, hit power. Don't put negative 3 divided by 9. Don't do that. Go to alpha, which is the green button. Hit y equals, and then hit enter. You should have a little fraction bar, yes? Y equals is in the top left-hand corner. So alpha, y equals, and enter. and then put in negative 3 over 9. What did you get? What? Negative 1/3. That is your slope. It is not negative 3 over 9 because we write our fractions in what? What's the two-word thing? Simplest form. You always reduce your fractions. Always, always, always. I have a daughter she's now graduated, but when she was working on fractions, well, my teacher didn't tell me that I had to reduce my fractions. Teacher shouldn't have to tell you to reduce. When do you reduce fractions? Always. You always reduce your fractions. Always. Okay? All right, here we go. Why did I tell you that? Now check this out. Here's another point. There's another point. So let's do this. I want to show you something really, really quick. Technically, there's 4 points on this line. There are 4 points on this. Pick me 2 of those points. A and D. Well, we already done A to D. Okay. How about pick another 2? How about B to D? Okay. Now, she chose B to D. So I'm going to go down 1, 2. So I went down 2 and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? What is negative 2, 6 if I reduce it? Negative 1/3. Didn't I tell you that it should be constant between any 2 points? Isn't that what we talked about earlier? I told you we were coming back to that. It's going to be constant. It doesn't matter which points you choose. As long as you do it correctly, you should be just fine. If I chose A to B, down 1 and over how many? 1, 2, 3. Negative 1/3. Negative 2, 6. The first one we did was negative 3/9. They all reduced to negative 1/3. They all reduced to the same exact number. So as long as you count the correct points, we should be just fine. Does that make sense? I see a lot of nodding. Does everybody understand that? Just make sure you find 2 points. It doesn't have to be the 2 that they give you. Okay? All right, here we go. This one right here. Point. Point. Here's my line. Whoa. Okay. Ooh, that was pretty good, actually. That was a really, really good line. All right, what do you tell me about that line? It's no slope. Is it 0 or is it undefined? 0. This one's 0. Okay. Here's another way. I have a teacher that she helps me out. Here's another way to remember 0 slope. If I write the word 0, the top of it is what? The top of it's flat. That's another way she learned. Okay, 0 slope, the top of the Z is flat. Yes, sir? Would it be y equals 4? No. Okay, so how many does it go up? Does it go up at all? So this one would be 0 over, and then how many points over? 4. Which if you take your calculator, if you put 0 over 4 in your calculator, what's it going to tell you? Nope. No, it's not going to tell you error because it says 0 over 4. You can't put 0 on bottom. You can put it on top. What does it say? 0. It's okay. So then why on here did it say y would equal? Because the equation for this cross, here's 0, 0. You with me on that? That's 0, 0. This actually crosses at negative 1, so the equation for this line would be y equals negative 1 because that's where it crosses the y-axis. Flat. Because every point, we actually talked about this not too long ago. We were doing what, input, output or something? It's the same point all the way down. We'll talk about that more later. All right, what about this one? Point. Point. What do you tell me about this line? Huh? Undefined. Okay? This one's undefined. So if I write it U, the side of the U kind of matches up with the line. That's another way to remember it. There's a lot of different ways to remember that. You just find the one that works for you. Find the one that, like I use X and like it's just whatever. Undefined. This equation crosses the x-axis at positive 2. So what would that equation be? X equals what? What does it cross at? No, here's 0, 0. So where does it cross? 3. Nope, 2. X equals 2. That's the equation for that. I know that's a lot of information. Are we good? Take a breath. Are we good? 1 to 5. How are we doing? See some. You're getting 6, 7, 6, 7. Okay. 3s, 4s. Okay, good. Everybody's doing some 5s. So I like it. All right, let's go to the back. The formula. 6, 7. So I was at FC Dallas this weekend. You may have ever gone to those games. They have like a guy that walks around with the camera, and of course all the kids are like, "Hey, put me on the jumbotron, put me on the jumbotron," right? Every single little kid, what did they do? The whole night, all I hear is so dumb. 6 a.m. Like, stop. The kids are like screaming it. And it wasn't like everybody was doing it together. Like everybody's yelling it all in like different tone. Oh, it was annoying. Okay. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. All right, here we go. Here's the formula for slope. If they give you 2 points, now I'm going to tell you the formula. Some people like using. Does anybody know the formula? Somebody last Friday actually knew it off memory. You know it? Give it a shot. You might know. You might have it right. Oh, I was letting him cook. Is that how it goes? Close. Okay, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, what did I tell you earlier? That slope was basically the change in y over the change in the x, correct? Isn't that what I told you? Isn't that how you determine how much something changes? If I have $5 in my pocket, now I've got $20 in my pocket. How much change did I just? How much did that change? I went from 5 to 20. How much? $15. How did you know that? 20 minus 5. Okay, or you just knew that 5 plus 15 was 20, right? But you get it by subtracting. That's how you find out the change in something. Now, I'm not going to act. Now, if you want to memorize this, you absolutely can. Okay, my youngest, Cambric, she knows this equation. Like we were talking about the other day, and she just rattled it off. She's your age. She's a freshman. Okay, she knows it. Okay, I'm not expecting everybody to memorize this equation. I'm going to show you a way to do this. Now, it's kind of the unofficial algebra way to do this. It's almost like cheating. Okay, but I'm going to show it to you. Fair? Yes? You want to see the kind of the cheat way to do this? Yeah. Yeah, we do. Okay. But it's the same work. All right, here we go. You guys have these points? Now, what I like to do, it's the same. Please understand, I am still doing the work. I am still subtracting the y's and I'm still subtracting the x's. Does everybody with me on this? I'm still doing the same thing. And if I don't remember how to do this when you guys are taking a test, what else can you do if I give you 2 points? What else could you do? How about just graph them and then count it? Could you do that? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it stack and subtract. I'm going to stack my points together, and I'm just going to subtract them. What letter always goes on top? The Y does. The Y goes on top. So check this out. It does not matter which one goes on top. Does it matter which one goes on top? No, but I'm going to show you both, okay, just for the heck of it. All right, let's put the 1, 1 on top, or on bottom. 1, 1. I'm going to stack them, and I'm going to do what? Subtract them. I'm going to stack them and subtract them. So let's do the Y. Now here's X and Y. You don't have to label it, but I'm doing it just for instruction. What is 3 minus 1? 2. What is 4 minus 1? I'm done. Stack them and subtract them. I just did Y2 minus Y1, X2 minus X1. Right? Stack them and subtract them. Just make sure you put the Y on top. How many of you like that? You're like, I can do that. That's pretty easy, right? Okay, let's see if I had the other one on top. 1, 1, and then we had 4, 3. Yes? I always like to leave them in parentheses so I don't forget to do that. So I don't forget one of them. What's 1 minus 3? Negative 2. What's 1 minus 4? Negative what? Negative 3. What do 2 negatives make? Positive 2/3. It doesn't really matter. The only difference is your signs are going to be flipped. Okay, if you have 2 positives, if you put it the other way, it's going to be 2 negatives. But you still get the same answer. Fair? I just proved it to you. Stack them and what, guys? Subtract them. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Go ahead and do number 2. Let's go ahead and do number 2 and number 3, okay? On your own. I'm going to pause the video to let you guys work for a minute. Ready? Go. All right, here we go. Which one did you put on bottom? Negative 2, 4? Okay, cool. Stack them and subtract them, right? So what's negative 2 minus 4? Good talk, guys. Negative 6. All right, good. All right, what is 10 minus negative 2? No. 12. Put it in your calculator. Do it. 10 minus negative 2. Put that in your calculators. Why? Why is it 12? Double negatives. What are two negatives? If I write that out, wouldn't it look like this? Wouldn't that be the same as 10 plus 2? Right? See, is it easier if it's sideways like that? Like, okay, I can kind of see it now. Just pay attention to that double negative, okay? What is 6 over 12 reduced? Negative 1 half. 6 is half of 12. That one shouldn't be too hard. 6 is half of 12. All right, let's do the next one. Just for the heck of it, how many of you put the negative 4, 5 on bottom? A lot of you guys did. Who put the negative 8, negative 5 on bottom? How many of you didn't do it? How many of you just don't want to raise your hands? 1. All right. It's like half the class did. All right, here we go. I'm going to put the negative 8, negative 5 on bottom. Don't change it. Don't change your answer. Okay? It's going to be the same as yours, just the signs are going to be the exact opposite. If you got positives, it's going to be negatives. Okay? Here we go. 5 minus negative 5, that's positive 10. You probably got negative 10. Yes? Yes? All right, then we do the other side. Negative 4 minus negative 8, that's negative 4 plus 8 is positive 4. Yes? You probably got negative, negative. Okay. Yeah, I see a lot of nodding. Is that what you got? Negative, negative? What is 10 over 4 reduced to? No. 5 over 2. Do not change it to 2 and 1 half. Do not do that. Do not change it to a decimal. Don't change it to anything except what's the two words? Rise over run. I got to have it in a fraction. I got to have that fraction because that fraction tells me I'm going to go up 5 over 2. Up 5 over 2. If you change that to 2.5, that doesn't tell me my slope. Okay, don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay? All right, let's skip that one. Let's go to, I'm not going to do a ton of these. Let's go to number 5. Work on number 5, please. Really, really quick. Let's just do number 5 and number 6. I'm going to pause the video. All right, Brady, what'd you get?
0.
Why'd you get 0? Did anybody else get 0 for number 5? How do you know that? Hey, look at the points on number 5. What do you got? Hey, look at the points. What do you notice? They're all positive. What else do you notice? There's 2 9s. What are both of the 9s? The Y's match. The answer is 0. Because if I stack them, what's 9 minus 9? 0. 0 over it doesn't really matter. Okay? Can I give you a little hint? What's my Y number on this? No, what's the Y number for the points? This equation is actually Y equals 9. It would be flat on a Y equals 9. Because the 9, it would be 9 all the way up and down that line. Okay? All right, what about number 6? What do you notice? Kind of the same thing, but backwards. The X's match. So what is this one going to be? This one is undefined. Undefined. Because look, if I stack them and subtract them, I get negative 3 over, and if I do this, I get 0. Can I put 0 on bottom? You cannot divide by 0. The only person that can divide by 0 is Chuck Norris. That's exactly right. Chuck Norris can divide by 0. He's the only one. Everybody good? Undefined. What would that equation? So what numbers match? 7 and what are they both? What letter? X equals negative 7. That would be that equation. That would be a vertical line on negative 7. So if 0, 0 is here, it'd be negative 7 straight up and down. Okay. Are there any questions on this? Let's see. This one. This one. Nope. Okay. Hey, let's look at this one really, really quick. Number 10. You don't have to do it. Just look at it. Look at number 10. On your paper. It's probably easier to see it. Look at number 10. What matches the X or the Y? So what is my slope?
0.
The slope is 0. The Y's match, the slope is 0. If the Y's match, the slope is 0, which is a good thing. That one's actually fine because it's still a function. That's still okay. Function not, oh, that's where it was. Function not a function. Vertical line test. That's where we talked about horizontal, vertical, all that good stuff. Everybody good? Show me 1 to 5 where you stand on slope. Thumb up. Okay. All right. Hey, good job. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And then after the break, we will get your assignment. Cool? Click like, subscribe, share with your friends. Okay. Thanks, sir.